Hey, it's Danielle, Celestial Piper, Soldier of the Watch. This is my first time using Hangouts in order to do a live show with you guys. That way I can share my screen. I'm not even sure if anybody's on yet, so let me go over here real quick and just take a peek. Bear with me. Seems that my computer is taking its time, and there's a plane going overhead. It doesn't look like anybody's showing. Well, it's beautiful day today. Let's see how long this sky lasts. as nice as it does. You know what I mean? Um, okay, guys, how is everything now? I have no idea if this is working or not. I'm really not liking Hangouts at the moment because it to be extremely slow. So if everybody can put a comment in here and let me know if it's okay. I'm waiting. Okay, guys, I need to know how this is working because otherwise I'm going to stop the stream and start over like normal. Well, I guess I'm just going to go ahead and just talk, and hopefully you guys are seeing this because nobody's answering. Now, I did put this on a 30-second delay. I don't know if that's a problem or... But I've been waiting over 30 seconds. So I'm just going to go ahead with this and hope that it works. Bear with me one moment. Awesome. Good. All right. So let's do introductions again. This is Danielle, Celestial Piper, Soldier of the Watch. First time using the Hangouts. We have Sharni coming on Friday, and we're going to do the show at 9 o'clock in the morning instead, because of time differences. She is, I believe, over in Australia. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sharni, if you see this video. So it'll be 9 o'clock my time here in the States on the East Coast. So, as I was saying, I'm excited to have her on. I wanted to have her on like a while ago, but tech charted me, could not figure out Hangouts, and that's what she uses. And it seems to be pretty easy to use. Just wasn't sure about the whole, technical stuff that was going on when I was outside. The sun was super bright anyway, and it looks like I have to like shut this curtain behind me, so bear with me. There we go. And yeah, so anywho, so I'm excited to have her on. She's going to be sharing sharing her testimony in regards to dealing with Crohn's disease, and we'll be talking about Crohn's disease. So I'm so excited to have her on Friday. The next person I want to get on, and if you're still watching, Grant, I want to get Grant on. And thank you for calling me beautiful. That was just so sweet and made my day. Excited to see Dean here in the chat. Welcome, Dean. Of course, my buddy Phil. And no, I have not emailed Melissa yet. Thank you for reminding me, Phil. You know how absent-minded I am. Nightblade should be on here as soon as she gets a chance. She's been dealing with things at home that she's got to get done. So that's all good. Before I get started into... Oh, I'm sorry, Phil. I didn't realize he called you beautiful. Oh, I love you, Phil. Before we get started, I do, it is listed in the details. I think I'm going to start my videos with this. It is not my intention at all to offend anybody. It is not my intention at all to confuse anybody. Looks like I need to edit my little message that's in there because there's some major typos. I can tell that I did this super, super fast. So any topics that are discussed on the show come from articles unless speaking of personal experience. I try to keep my prejudices, if any, and respect all beliefs and not push my own on others. I expect that our community respect that as well and be supportive and loving to each other. There is enough judgment and hatred in this world already, and the effect it has on us due to the oppressive nature is bad enough. So we do not need to be adding to the problem. I love each and every one of you with all my heart and respect each and every one of you and your views. Let us keep this a respectful and peaceful community so that others see our light and know it comes from our Father, our Creator in heaven. Thank you and much love. Okay. Only reason being is we're getting bigger, which is a great thing, slowly but surely, but it's all in our Creator's time. And time doesn't matter anyway, right? Time is, what they say, time is relevant or irrelevant. I don't remember. I am not, a scientist or anything like that. So just ignore what I'm saying right now because I'm just kind of basically like babbling. But I didn't have any kind of incident happen in order to have that on there. I just felt that I needed to because sometimes the topics I'm talking about are stuff that I've been looking into, but not necessarily something that I know a whole lot about because I'm learning. Also, some stuff that I talk about you may not agree with. And that's fine. We don't have to agree with everything. Also, some articles that I may read, I may not agree with it or with everything in it. Okay. It's just subject matter. Okay. A lot of things that I show is because it can make you think or make you search out stuff more. I think it's important in whatever your belief is to really know everything around you so that you can understand it. I hope I'm making sense. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Know that I love you all. And if at all I offend you in any way, know that that is not my heart to offend you or come off judgmental or attacking. If I do, I want to know because that is not at all how I want to be. I want to be a light, okay, so that we can shine our light in this world and know that it comes from our Father Creator in heaven. So there you go. All right, so why don't we go ahead and actually get to the point of this show. Hopefully everything's still going on. I am watching the delay on mute right now just so I can make sure everything's going okay. And if there is an issue with buffering or anything like that, we're cool to go. So anywho, it looks like maybe Wednesdays aren't the best of days, but that's okay. This records and people can watch it later and leave me a comment if they have anything they need to say. If I've missed anybody's comments in previous videos and have not heard it, I will get there. I try to see everybody's comment and try to put a little heart on it because no matter what you say, I do love you and I appreciate your comments. All right. So what we're talking about today in our title, it says how solar flares and geomagnetic storms affect us. I hope everybody liked the thumbnail. If anybody knows references or lines from Monty Python and the Holy Grail, that's where that came from. And then, Discovery Channel or History Channel stuff, it says when something attacks. I think that's what it might be Discovery Channel, but so that's why I put when geomagnetic storms attack or when geostorms attack. So anyway, I know I'm a nerd and I've told you guys that, so it's not like I didn't warn you. Anyway, so first I want to show you guys this article. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Woo! First time, bear with me. I was so excited to be able to do this, guys. You have no idea. Okay, so let's see. Screen share, and then I'm going to come over here and go right here. Okay, so I'm just going to take a peek here. I just want to make sure it's working. And then I'll know. I sent you a Monty Python one on Edge of Wonder, LOL. She did. How about lumberjack? A lumberjack, and okay. Oh, I love Monty Python. So I am just checking. I'm waiting for that delay. I want to be able to make sure that the screen share is working because I don't trust it. So, yeah, it's not working. All right, let's try this. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and read it and then read a little bit of it. And then, Phil, if you can let me know if you can see the screen, that would be awesome. Let me just make sure real quick over here. Yeah, so your entire screen. Okay. And then it says that I'm sharing my screen, so that's good. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go here. All right, so we should be good. Hey, Allie, so good to see you. All right, so, all right, let me go back here. All right, so while there was, so it says strong G3 geomagnetic storm, and this is on spaceweatherlive.com, which I have in the details screen. While there was no shock in the solar wind, everything points to this being one of the many plasma clouds, okay, that the sun expelled during the past few days. So solar wind speed maxed out at about 570 kilometers, but a sustained southward pointing BZ component of the interplanetary magnetic field for about 3 hours around -14 N ruffled our planet's magnetic field, and we quickly shot up to a strong G3 magnetic storm conditions. Now, I don't know a lot about this stuff, but we could definitely look that up shortly here. But with eruption, but which eruption was this? Well, space weather is really messy at the moment, as there have been many eruptions on the sun during the past couple of days. So this was put out yesterday, and let me just go ahead. I'm going to copy that. None of them were major eruptions that you see with M or X class solar flares, but still with the right magnetic field orientation, you see that geomagnetic storm conditions are very much possible, but strong G3 geomagnetic storm conditions were a big surprise, even for the biggest optimists. Is this coronal mass ejection the one that is expected to arrive tomorrow, launched on May 11th, or is this another eruption that we missed? It is near impossible to say what is what at the moment, but we do know that the more storm conditions due to coronal mass ejection passages remain possible at least during the next 3 days. There's at least one, perhaps there are even two plasma clouds that have a chance of impacting our planet still somewhere between us and the sun. Exciting times. For X-class solar flares, if there's anybody like me who does not know what that means. Okay, good. I stopped over here to YouTube just to make sure everything looks good. We are good. So I'm going right here, going to paste that in there and see what we can find out here on Google. So right here, let's go to NASA, because, you know, NASA never lies about anything. See if they have any good information on here. So solar flares are giant explosions on the sun that send energy, light, and high-speed particles into space. So these flares are often associated with solar magnetic storms known as coronal mass ejection. Number of solar flares increases approximately 11 years. So this is an old article because it says we're going to head into a solar maximum likely in 2013. We're kind of way past that. So they say the biggest flares are known as X-class flares, okay? And they're based on classification system that divides solar flares according to their strength. And then the smallest ones are A-class, near background levels, and then followed by B, C, M, and then X. So M and X sound like they are pretty high scale flares. Similar to the Richter scale for earthquakes, each letter represents a tenfold increase in energy output. So an X is 10 times an M and 100 times a C. Within each letter class, there is a finer scale from 1 to 9. That's just crazy. And I'm not going to read the biggest one. I'll go ahead and put this link in the details screen when we're done with our video. But Nightblade's the one that came up with the idea of me talking about solar flares and how and geomagnetic storms and how it affects us. She gave me a link to a pretty awesome article, and I want to give credit where credit is due. It also, she had said, let me know, because I haven't been keeping up with the earthquake stuff. I usually watch Dutch Sense and Mary Greeley news, and I haven't been keeping up. When you're trying to do videos and run a business and all that wonderful stuff, it's really hard to be able to watch videos, let alone, anything else. So, but anyway, she said that Papua New Guinea off the coast was hit with a 7.5 earthquake yesterday. So I'm thinking these solar flares, and she was thinking the same thing. That's why she brought it up, may have a huge impact on it and may have been what caused it. So here is the article she sent. Ignore this thing up here. It's irrelevant to me. How solar flares and geomagnetic storms affect us. As humans, we can greatly be affected by certain space weather activity, such as solar flares, electromagnetic storms, and it can affect us mentally, emotionally, physically, and on a spiritual level. Oh, I lost my camera. Bear with me, guys. Okay. As humans, we can greatly be affected by certain space weather activity. So I said that already. Let me, I'm sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties again. The camera had turned off. But yet it still says I'm going. So that's fine. Let's get back here. All right, so how solar flares and geomagnetic storms affect us. So I was saying it can operate on mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual levels. So down below, it says to read such phenomena and various associated symptoms that you may experience. So we'll get into that shortly. And what are solar flares? So I did a little explanation on NASA's site there. The way they describe it here is it's a sudden flash of brightness observed near the sun's surface. It involves a very broad spectrum of emissions. It says that it requires an energy release of up to 6 by 1025 joules of energy. So that says it's roughly equivalent of, holy crud, 160 billion megatons of TNT. Can you imagine? So flares are often, but not always, accompanied by a coronal mass ejection. The flare ejects clouds of electrons, ions, and atoms through the corona of the sun into space. These clouds typically reach Earth a day or two after the event. So how do solar flares affect us? Well, this is a space weather phenomenon, and that can greatly impact our human bodies, according to this article, and our lives biologically affect us and consequently affect our ability to cope. They can influence our brain activity. It makes sense. And sense of equilibrium. Oh, that's part of what my problem is. Central nervous system, and psychophysiological and emotional self, as well as behavioral tendencies. So I can just like blame it on the solar flares, right? Sorry, I had to make a joke. On a higher consciousness level, they serve to transform us on a cellular level, and they can tear apart old patterns, influence us to make changes in our life, even if it is from a more subconscious level. This internal shifting might bring fears up to the surface. Here are some common specific symptoms people might experience during a period of solar storm activity. So here we go. You got headaches, migraines, a feeling of pressure in your head. Maybe you feel a bit off, agitated. Or you just have like this horrible uneasy feeling. Lethargy, exhaustion, nausea or queasiness, heart fluttering, racing or palpitations, high blood pressure, hot flashes. All right, ladies, we could just blame it on that, not ages. High-pitched ringing of the ears. Oh, I get that so much. And that goes with the Schumann's resonance as well, which Nightblade, she is my muse, by the way, had shared the graph with me this morning. Man, it looked like it was off the charts. Maybe you get dizziness, jitters, vertigo. That's how I broke my foot, vertigo. Visual disturbances, feeling confused, bewildered, unclear, foggy-headed, or sporadic. Sporadic short-term memory loss or forgetfulness? Well, that's the wonderful world of fibromyalgia as well. And autoimmune issues. Let's see. Issues with sleep, such as interrupted sleep, waking up too early or late, not feeling like you had enough. Well, again, goes along with chronic health issues as well. Vivid or stressful dreams. Well, I've always had vivid dreams. Feeling stress, anxiety, and worrying, irritable mood, depression, sadness, grief, despair, increased sensitivity, general overwhelm or feeling like you just can't cope, feeling of losing track of time. Well, man, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I've lost track of time this week thus far. It's already Wednesday. Like, did yesterday and the day before happen? Or was I just dreaming? No, but it's really weird this week. You might also notice technological and telecommunication disturbances. You think? Such as computers going haywire. No. So I guess with some of these, because a lot of it is the same as, chronic health issues we deal with. I guess if, you don't have chronic health issues or something like that, and you just like, wow, this feels really weird today, it could very well be a geomagnetic storm or a flare, which I guess is the same thing. So they state that Wikipedia describes geomagnetic storms as a temporary disturbance of the Earth's magnetosphere caused by a solar wind, shock wave, and or cloud of magnetic field that interacts with the Earth's magnetic field. The increase in the solar wind pressure initially compresses the magnetosphere. Solar wind's magnetic field interacts with Earth's magnetic field and transfers an increased energy into the magnetosphere. Both of these interactions cause an increase in plasma movement through the magnetosphere, driven by increased electrical fields inside the magnetosphere, and an increase in electric current in the magnetosphere and ionosphere. So how can these affect us? Well, like solar flares, it is said by some that geomagnetic storms actually help us receive energetic downloads and ascend as we move from our physical body to our light body, a higher energetic and spiritual state moving closer to the higher dimension. So that's the spirit within us, our soul. They offer us upgrades and assist in the transmutation and changing of our DNA. This is a process, not something that happens overnight. These storms are highly transformational. They might be happening and you are not even aware of it and how it is influencing your daily life. So if I go, hey, like postal on my family, I can just say it's this, right? As there are also symptoms associated with the phenomenon. Can you imagine that in court case? Well, I killed the guy because there was a geomagnetic storm going on and I couldn't help myself. I just went mood crazy. Just a joke, guys, just a joke. During a storm, you can, and it goes through some of the same stuff we just went over. So like I was just saying, irritable mood. It says losing items, they somehow mysteriously return. Time warps, glitches, you lose periods of time or have odd experience, such as feeling like only a few minutes have passed. Oh my gosh, I have had that happen a few times that I can think of right off the bat. I did it while driving. You want to talk about freaky? And being aware of other dimensions. Can't say, well, maybe in the past. Seeing or sensing spirits, heightened paranormal activity, yes. Sudden insights and revelations that seem to come out of nowhere. Okay, I just figured Papa was talking to me. An experience, which I still think so, an experience known as the Mandela effect. Technology, telecommunication devices, computer systems going haywire. Excuse me. There are some things you can do to get through such periods of intense and heightened solar space activity. And they're helpful when you're experiencing any kind of energy effects. So take salt baths. Oh, I swear by Epsom salts. So when I can't get into my hot tub, and sometimes even if I do get into my hot tub, I'm having a really bad day, Epsom salts. And I also get this eucalyptus bath, I get bubbles or whatever, and you stick that in there, and the smell of the eucalyptus, oh, I just love it. And it feels really good on your body. It says do anything that helps relieve stress or anxiety. Magnesium supplements, good reminder because I have not been taking it. Drink a lot of pure water. Eat healthily. Avoid or reduce your intake of caffeine and alcohol. Not a problem. For some reason, I can't drink alcohol anymore. Not complaining. I used to like to have a glass of wine once or every other day. Back in the day, I can't drink it anymore, which is probably a good thing because it's not good for you. Try using relaxing aromatherapy. I was just talking about the eucalyptus. Yes. Meditate more or do stillness, relaxation, and breathing exercises. So good for you. And that's half the reason I'm getting better. Gentle exercise, but don't overdo it. Get out into nature. I love being out there. That's why I try to meet with you guys outside. I love listening to the birds. It's very healing. Resolve to take it easy and go easy on yourself. Tough one for me to do. Sharing my screen, I'm getting all these pop-ups. Let's see. Take that off. It says positive attitude and affirmations. You don't have to use affirmations. Maybe there is a scripture you like. Okay, for my Christians out there, maybe like here's one I like to do when I'm meditating. I like to go, perfect love casts out all fear. If I feel real anxious for some reason, I'll use that one. For God doesn't give us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and sound mind is another one I like. Obviously, I can be a very anxious individual, and that's why those suckers are in my warehouse of weapons, spiritual weapons. Keep away from negative people and avoid drama. Yes, no offense to my mother. I do love her. I am a caretaker, but I try to avoid her, especially on days where I'm not feeling the greatest, and she'll know it. She'll know it. It's because I want to avoid snapping at her or anything like that, because she is a very negative person and she creates a lot of drama, and and um, her energy is off. So please pray for my mother, because I would really love, she's a beautiful person, really would love for her to get out of that environment that she's created. And unfortunately, childhood is created. Um, how to check space weather activity. Flares are labeled as, like we talked about, you can see that here in the article. CMB levels, level ones, are fairly frequent and low level and probably don't affect us that much or at all. I want to take a peek over here real quick just to look at your comments. Alrighty. Let's see what everybody's saying before I continue on. All right. So it looks like here we got everybody's just saying hi to everybody. Absolutely adore you guys. Bones, it's so good to see you on here. Hello, hello, hello. I know my Allie came on and my girl Nightblade came on. Hope everything's working out with the stuff you needed to take care of at home. And let's see. And just checking you all out. Yay, looking at your comments. Don't see anything I need to. Okay, so Nightblade said to Mike, we've been hit the last 2 days by CME today as well. Hey, Mike, good to see you, my friend. And he said, wow, that makes sense. I'll tell you what, I want to give some like shout out to my bud, Mike, who I've met on Edge of Wonder. He is a mod with me and Phil and a couple other people. And I promise, Phil, I am going to check on her because she has been on my heart too. I'm just so darn absent-minded all the time. Nightblade's listening. I'm gonna make her responsible to remind me. But Mike is a load of information. I hope you don't mind me, Mike, but I'm sure like if you have any questions with certain things, he probably knows the answers or knows where to point you to. I would just love if like we lived near each other, I would like meet for coffee and totally pick his brain. Also, let's see here. Phil, I'm totally with you. Phil says, I'm not going to be impressed if my light body is still fat. LOL. I would be the same way. I want to be woo. I guess we aren't going to really care at that point what our energy looks like as far as physical sense. Let's see. You guys are so funny. There's my girl, Christy. Hey, Christy. And don't forget. All right. So I'm going to come back over here. Sapphire, it's good to see you, my friend. All right. So I probably should have like stopped sharing my screen when is on there. But hey, I'm learning. I'm learning. You guys are patient with me. So back to how solar flares affect us. So there's a website on here that they show, spaceweather.com. I haven't checked it out myself yet. You know what? Let's do a control C. All right. I have she has no connection, or he, I'm not sure who wrote the article. I think it's a she, to that site. At the top left column, there's a current conditions section. You may not be able to access it as easily on your smartphone. So if you guys are using your smartphone, that's what she's saying. You'll find solar flare activity recorded there with which class it is, so you can know the level of severity. Let's go over there. Let's take a peek at it. All right. So she said, what's up? Okay. So right here, it says current conditions. Solar wind speed. It's got the density. And then it says X-ray solar flares. And as of right now, it's in a B. So that's low from what we were learning, right? It did say from 1 to 9. So it's a B3. Down over here, it's saying it may the one first is to arrive today. It could continue through May 17th, so keep that in mind, guys. Levels will certainly reach a G1, periods of G2. So G1 being minor, G2 being moderate. Auroras could cross the U.S.-Canadian border in the nights ahead. So anybody that lives up in that area, you'll be seeing that. I guess as long as the sky is nice and clear. I'm not sure exactly how that works. Maybe you know, Mike. So May 14th, when a crack opened in Earth's magnetic field, solar wind poured through the gap, igniting auroras over the northern tier U.S. states. So this is pretty interesting, and I'm probably going to bookmark this sucker. Auroras were bright enough to see reflected in the still waters of Lake Superior. That's absolutely beautiful looking. I know it's not great on a... I'm an artist. I see beauty for what beauty is. I'm going to do... Okay, so there's a bunch of different stuff on here. Check it out for yourselves if you haven't seen it. Spaceweather.com. I'll put that link in later as well. My phone is going off. Back over here to the Natalia Kuna. Yes, so it is a woman. So she says the planetary K index section. She talks about that. Talks about the fluctuations, geomagnetic field over a 3-hour interval, that the maximum amount of fluctuation. She says that KP number and whether there's a storm. So you can find all this stuff on there. It also gives you indication of its intensity, which we saw. She also says if you click on more data, pay attention to the graph. The red lines means that there's a severe storm in action, which will no doubt be impacting you in your life. Let me just go back over there and look at that. She said more. Is that like down here? Okay. Wow, look at all that. And then, yeah, so here's some near Earth asteroids. Wow. Holy rusted metal, Batman. So luminosity. Wow. Cosmic rays in the atmosphere. Daily hot flights. Okay, here's stratospheric radiation. And then there's a bunch of links and stuff. I guess just, take a peek at it, play around with it for yourself. I think I'm going to do the same because it's quite interesting. And then I think this is it. Yep. So I thought this article was super interesting. Thank you so much, Nightblade, for recommending that. Let me come down here. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. All righty. And come over to the chat room and check you guys out. So what's your thoughts on all this? I'm sure at least a couple of you guys probably already knew all about it. See what's going on here. I am your YouTube friend, Phil, and I'm proud of it. I love you, Mike. I love all you guys. So let's scroll back here a little bit. And so Christy says that she uses that when I mostly study and track earthquakes. Well, that's very awesome. And 2-year-olds, that's a fun age. I'm one of the few individuals that could say that was my favorite age with my son. But, my son is a pretty good kid. We stopped at him. Who knows what the second one could have been? Just kidding. They're all little angels. Yes, because Mike said he's been working on videos, but my 2-year-old is everywhere. LOL. So hey, if you haven't subscribed to Mike's channel, go over there and subscribe. I have. And don't forget about Phil, his channel. And Christy, you have a channel too, don't you? I know Sapphire does. So let's help each other out, show each other love like we always do. And Christy says she's been looking into the solar flares too. She does watch Dutch, not Mary. And she put, sorry, love Dutch. I think her comment got cut off. And Nightblade, thank you so much for putting the link for the Schumann resonance. So, and Christy says that there is some thought that a large Earth facing has a direct connection to earthquakes. That is very interesting. Oh, Mike, I would love to do an interview. We can do it over Hangouts. Got Sharni on Friday. If you're available Monday, I'll have you on. Here's let me give you my email. And see, I would love to have all of you guys on, talk about your experiences. whatever that may be. So, by all means, guys, all email me if you're interested, and we will arrange that instead of me reading articles. Let's see. I know, Phil, you got 4 blessed angels, right? Phil's a good daddy. He loves his children. Okay, so Nightblade is answering Allie's question, for those of you that are watching this video later. Because Allie asked what a kill shot would be in regards to solar flares or whatever. And Nightblade says that a kill shot would be a CME released at Earth. Okay, so Christy H says that she does not have a YouTube. Well, she has a YouTube channel, obviously, because she's on here, but like she doesn't do videos. But she does have a website. So, Christy, go ahead and put your website, if you want, in the chat so that we can all check it out. That's if you want us to. Let's go down here a little bit more. So Nightblade says, if something like the Carrington event were to happen today, it would be a kill shot. A modern day Carrington event is what they say they fear could easily have hardened our systems, though. And that's what Christy H said. And Phil says that he has 3 children of his own and 1 stepdaughter. And Phil, you were so funny. He says he'd do an interview, but probably forget what he's talking about. I do it all the time, and you guys watch me. Nightblade says, we do get hit with mild CMEs as we move into them, but the one that just released day before yesterday was the first Earth-facing in a while. And awesome. And Kirsty H is going to put a link for her website in. I'm going to pull up the Carrington event because I'm interested in that. Let me just get that up here, and then I'll share my screen. I'm assuming that's the Carrington event of 1859. Is this? I'm thinking this is the one where like the telecommunications and stuff went down, which I think it was a telegraph machine. And let's go ahead. Yeah, so we're probably like way overdue for one, aren't we? Okay, so let me go back here and go ahead and share my screen again. Okay, so it says a solar storm of 1859, which was also known as the Carrington event, was a powerful geomagnetic storm during solar cycle 10, 1855 and 1867. A solar coronal mass ejection hit Earth's magnetic sphere and induced one of the largest geomagnetic storms on record, September 1st to 2nd, 1859. The associated white light flare in the solar photosphere was observed and recorded by British astronomers Richard C. Carrington. That's where it got the name, huh? 1826 to 1875 he lived, and Richard Hodgson from 1804, 1872. The storm caused strong auroral displays and wrought havoc with telegraph systems. So it is the one I was thinking of. The now standard unique identifier for this flare, and it gives you a lap code. A solar storm of this magnitude occurring today would cause widespread electrical disruptions, blackouts. I mean, we rely on technology so much, right? And damage due to extended outages of electrical grid. I mean, I'm sure it probably have a big effect on cars since cars are ran on computers and stuff, right? The solar storm of 2 of similar magnitude, but it passed Earth's orbit without striking the planet, missing by 9 days. Wow. And there's more on it here, but I just wanted to get just a little bit. It's really interesting. Great stuff there, my friend Nightblade. So I'm going to stop sharing, come over here. Back to chat. We're going to be getting off shortly. Just want to see if anybody has any other comments. Make sure that Christy shared her site. Awesome. And Christy, if you ever want to come on our show as well, that would be awesome. If you have anything to share. Hey, Lexi. God bless you as well. Thanks for just stopping by and saying hi if you watch this later. And let's see. Did I miss anything up here? Let's see. Nightblade. She says she often forgets that she should put squirrel. And thank you, Christy, for getting your link up. So I think we're pretty much, thanks, Danielle. I do not pursue hard sells. I believe in the product and the company is top notch. So buy most ESP, the CBD, other things to buy. I buy. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. So I guess, oh, yeah, that's an interesting thing to point out, Bones. Thank you so much. He said that when the telegraph and all went down, the lines caught on fire. That's a big deal. It makes me think of the movie The Knowing. Granted, that was like huge, and everything just went on fire. As long as it happens quick. Nice knowing you guys. Just kidding. So yeah, so I guess that is it. Guys, I did put my email there on chat. If you are interested in all, you have something that you think would be great to share with everybody, even if it's just to share your testimony in regards to chronic illness and stuff like that, please email me and we'll go ahead and we'll schedule you a day to come on. And my girl Nightblade, I know a lot of you guys said that you would love to see her on again. So if she's willing, I would love to have her back on as well. We could just shoot the breeze for the heck of it. If you don't have a certain topic you want to talk about. So, all right, guys. Well, I love you all. I hope your day goes awesome, the rest of it. And for those of you, if it's nighttime and you're about ready to go to bed, I pray that you have a great night's sleep. And yes, I guess that's it. God bless you all. I love you all. And know that I pray for each and every one of you. Much love. Peace out. This is Danielle, Celestial Piper, a Soldier of the Watch. And it's going to take a while to get out of here.